Good evening. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Before you continue, Mr. Booth-Sanders.
As we get started, I would like to start by making a motion that we amend tonight's site plan that was proposed here tonight using the site plan forms, and make sure that it's very clear and obvious to everyone that this is a fill permit that's being proposed tonight, not a site plan, and that the whole conversation tonight is about the movement of dirt on this piece of property, not what gets built, not what gets, but the decision that is ended up being made will be made regarding the fill permit and the allowing or disallowing the petitioner to begin moving dirt on the property. And in such, and to support that,
We need to keep it down so we can continue this meeting in a peaceful manner. Go ahead.
the application form that I am proposing that the application form that the petitioner filled out have every reference of site plan on it changed to fill permit. I would like the purpose line on the application form be changed from new development to implement new development's master grading plan. I'd like the master grading plan to be changed so as to eliminate from the plan all activities that require soil, stone, gravel, or other fill materials to be transported on or off the site, with the exception of stone that may be required for temporary construction entrances to the site. The petitioner is hereby informed that before the actual site plan can be approved, there must be discussion with the Plan Commission regarding where final entrances to the site will be located along 61st Avenue. Some of the commissioners feel strongly that in the site plan, the site entrance should be aligned with Arizona Street to service this site, rather than where it's been proposed in the fill plan. The creation of a path or bike trail along the north side of the berm and the gas pipeline. Commissioners feel that this needs to be a part of the site plan. It appears that maybe it is already, but that needs to be, they need to deal with that as well. The petitioner can begin working on the site moving dirt if this is approved in accordance with the master grading plan, but there is no sort of final approval for the entrances to the site or the path and trail given by this fill permit. The Plan Commission and the petitioner hereby agree that the fill permit will expire when the site plan is approved by the site, or for this site. All fill-related activities will then be governed by the approved site plan. The Plan Commission and the petitioner hereby agree that the fill permit and the mass grading plans may be amended by agreement between the Plan Commission and the petitioner before the site plan is approved. That's the motion I would like to make regarding
Contingent upon
No.
What about the community?
Contingent upon
contingent on the approval of this fill permit. It would contain these items. I'll second that.
What about the community?
There's a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no. That motion is carried.
We can't carry on a respectful meeting. People are going to be asked to leave. We have so many people who need to speak, and we need to give everyone an opportunity, and we can't do that if we can't hear what we're saying up here, if the commissioners can't be heard, and the petitioners can't be heard. Everyone will get the same respect.
Thank you, Heather. Mr. Leeth?
Thank you very much. My name is Todd Leeth. I'm counsel for the petitioner in this matter, Hobart Devco LLC. Hobart Devco is under contract to purchase the site that's the subject of our petition. The amendment suggested and approved by the commission just now is acceptable to the petitioner in that we are filing for a fill permit. It was never intended to be a site permit. I have reviewed some of the papers that were filed by our team and by my office. And I think we filed more than we needed, which perhaps is the source of the confusion. But we are, to be clear, only asking for a fill permit. which allows for the mass grading plan to be implemented. And we cannot build any buildings, or as they like to say, come out of the ground. We can't build anything other than move dirt, which is the source of our petition. I'm joined tonight by Andy Denham from the engineering firm Kimley Horn. Kimley Horn is a well-respected regional and national engineering firm. They handle projects of all shapes and sizes, and they have a division for data center development. And Andy and his team have worked to create the mass grading plan that is before you. Andy is going to walk you through our request. Our request is one just of that. And we are not seeking tonight any more than that. So the purpose is to receive that permission to start the mass grading. Andy's going to tell you that it's going to take a long time, and all of the things that we need to do are incorporated in this plan. So with that, I'm going to turn it over. This is a very technical petition. This is a very technical request, and I'm the lawyer. I deal in 30,000 feet, and Andy's going to be talking about sea level and cubic yards, and you don't need to hear from me on those very detailed issues. So with that, Andy, can you walk them through your plan?
Yep, and I will try to not stand too close to the mic, but as Todd said, my name is Danny Deneen. I'm the engineer of record for the 39-sheet plan set that you have in front of you for mass grading. The amendment that was put together by the Commissioner, we are in agreement with. Item number 3, I would like to amend slightly just from a discussion standpoint to include the necessary riprap for erosion control measures on the site for stormwater pipes that need to be installed as part of our pond network in the set itself. So not a major addition there, but just something that we can discuss. The plan set in front of you is a mass grading set. The set is intended as a, if something does happen to the project, this set is intended to allow for the stormwater drainage of the site as is, and could stand, this time it meets all stormwater ordinances from the city of Hobart and erosion control measures from the state, as well as the city of Hobart Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan District. The site plan is by no means finalized. We understand that we need to go through a site plan review process as part of the full engineering package. The goal of this set is to start work earlier than the completion of that site plan at risk to the developer, knowing that things may change. The set in front of you involves initial, temporary, and permanent erosion control measures to manage stormwater runoff on site, both before, during, and after construction, and also includes significant grading and drainage plan improvements for the site that are meant to get us around 75 to 80% of the way from an earthwork and grading standpoint for the campus. That process for a site of this size, approximately 168 acres, is usually about a 3 to 4 month ordeal. So by running this in parallel with site plan review, continued work with city staff and city engineering department on the long-term vision for the development allows for the expediting of full construction down the line. There are items on the periphery that we want to make sure that we're discussing as part of that site plan amendment or site plan approval. But a couple of topics that have been brought up as part of the amendment that I do want to speak to there is an allocation for a walking path. We are allocating 40 feet from the southernmost gas main easement to the start of our swale that would collect offsite flow from our berm. 20 feet of that is planned for a negotiated easement with Marathon Pipelines. They currently have a blanket easement over the property, so they're requesting an independent easement for laydown of their equipment, and then from there an additional 20 feet that would allow for a 10-foot multi-use path and a 5-foot section on each side. So more to discuss there. Obviously we need to work through logistics and what that actually looks like, but we are planning out the mass grading set to allocate space for that piece. The other item in here is that the current set in front of you does have 3 construction entrances located at various points along 61st Avenue. The amendment that we'll make to the plans is to reduce that to 2 temporary construction entrances, and as we work through, will be a potential larger entrance at 61st Street in Arizona, the Crescent B2. Maintain those until a formal plan could be finalized with the city engineering department and the plan commission here. That intersection does have a beehive manhole on the southwest corner of it, southwest corner, that is causing a low-lying area to collect water and is seen as a slight overgrowth that is showing low-quality wetland characteristics. So as part of our permitting for the mass grading set, we are going through environmental permitting with the Indiana Department of Environmental Management, as well as the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to fill in and impact that as both part of this project and the future improvements to the sanitary sewer. But we have not to date finalized with permits yet. As a result of that, in our initial erosion control plans, we do show a voluntary 60-foot buffer around all wetlands on site, as well as chain link fencing to both stake and formalize that those wetlands cannot be impacted until formal direction and permits are received from all entities. There are also big spiky notes in the plan set that say don't impact until all permits are provided. That's the close part of the 39-page plan set. It is not meant to be a final site plan. It's just meant us to get the construction going, get us close, so that when we do come in for site plan approval, we're ready to move forward with more formal construction on the site.
Question for the petitioner.
So you show stone for each building to be put in place, and we've talked to no trucks in and out to haul in and out, so there won't be any stone brought in.
So our plan for that comment is to amend the plans to remove the stone from the pads themselves, so that it's only earthwork moving. Where acceptable, that we'll provide an updated plan set to the city staff prior to any construction beginning, so that the only stone you would see coming inside would be for the construction entrances and stormwater erosion control measures around flare-down sections.
What's the rough number for your yards that you're moving? How many cubic yards will we be using or moving with the earthwork?
The total quantity of earthwork moving is around 1 million cubic yards on site.
Could you say that number again?
It's around 1 million cubic yards.
Cubic yards of what?
Earth.
Topsoil or topsoil?
Any other questions for the petitioner?
You mentioned that you're talking about reducing the 3 entrances down to 2. Which 2?
We would get rid of the central one, so the middle one.
Additional questions? Okay, you'll have a seat.
Thank you.
This time we'll open the public hearing. Reminder, if you're going to speak, line up on the sides. Please be respectful, address your comments. I'm not done with my instructions yet. My bad. Please be sure to line up on the sides when you're done speaking, or if you want to come up now before you speak, sign in, give us your name, address, and phone number. And again, I'm going to remind you to be respectful. When you clap and cheer, you're eating into the speaker's time. There's a 2-minute timer. Now, go ahead, give us your name, address, and phone number for the record.
So I already found my name, but my name is Angelina Soriano. I live on 1741 Imperial Street, and I'm part of the No Data Center, Hobart, Indiana group. And guys, we obtained legal counsel, okay? We do not want Easter to be moved.
eligibility review. First item in there, first item. It's required to have a site plan review in order to give a fill review or a fill permit in various categories, especially M1. It's required. So by you changing your verbiage from a site review to a fill permit, that doesn't change your legal obligation under your own code. I would speak of the state code to table this until you can organize yourselves to do a proper site review. And postal location of where full plans can be located. There are no full plans. And Tom Porter and Stormwater Office. And they said we can't just review a fill permit without a site plan. We can't have a site plan and drainage without full blueprints because you have to calculate the water runoff. And you can't do that without blueprints. So this is an extreme case of court before the horse, and it's one that we're going to get tripped on. Because if you against your own code grant this, these folks are going to spend $1 million with you, and they're going to create so much obligation to all of you that you can't tell them no.
Thank you all for the accommodations you've made for us this evening to be heard and ask questions. I've already signed in. My name's Susanna Enslin. I'm looking for clarification on who owns the land. Does the land permit mean Devco owns the land, or is the fill permit in moving soil a preliminary step such as the bore digging and soil testing prior to a purchase? And what is Devco's intentions on moving the land? My other question, and this one may be premature, is I'm attempting to understand the financial gain being spoken of regarding data centers. Other than the usual expected financial aspects of development costs, building fees, permits, taxes that may receive an abatement and such, are there other financial terms being presented from the developers of this property that benefit the city of Hobart, and what are these financial terms? And what are any other contributing factors being promised to the city, such as improvements to parks and such of that way? And I will state that I live about a half mile from the laundromat, and I lived through the god-awful sound of the machines going there to clean the land. Mayor Josh had me listen to a video that he took while on a visit to one of the data centers he took personally on his cell phone. I don't wish the sound that I heard coming from his home on anybody that lives in that area, and it is for that reason that I support and I back the no data centers, because I lived it with the laundromat on a short term. I can't imagine them living it 24/7.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Just want to say thank you for making these accommodations. I want to thank Hobart's Finest for being here. My name is Matt Wright, 219-707-0195. My address is 1957 Hickory Drive. Earlier you talked about, when the gentleman was presenting for the subdivision, that you wanted people in Hobart to be able to build up. When they do better in life, they get to build bigger houses. Well, I did that. I spent $562,000 to live in Hobart. I love it. I love everything about it. I love being a Pricky. I love football. I love Friday nights. I love the fireworks. I love the small town feel. I don't want to go anywhere. I live on a well. Cost cutting. I built a house in 2019, 2020. Had to do cost cutting measures. Part of that was building a well. I have the best well system right now. This week it's going to get tested to prove as such. Deep River Estates has been on well water for decades and decades, a proven system that has never caused any problems. When Hobart Devco comes in and moves 1 million cubic tons of dirt and moves sediment into that water, it clogs up my water. Imagine turning on a faucet and nothing coming out. Can't brush your teeth, can't do your laundry, can't wash your clothes. Can't let your kids drink the water. I do not want to turn my $500,000 home into a third world country. Please, guys, consider this. Hobart Devco, when you're doing this, consider my water. 15 seconds. I want 3 entrances because I don't want a bottleneck on 2. There's kids that play in that neighborhood. I don't want a tragedy to happen. Thank you, everybody.
Hello, my name's Edward Malik. My Little Farm, 6296 Colorado Street, 708-323-8974. And well, all I've got to say is 61st will have a nice view. Basically, my whole farm, my whole life, my family is gone. Our livelihoods, our income, our home on Colorado Street, and it's all right in the middle of this disaster. When this happens, my animals are dead. Our drinking water is gone. There's 4 human lives that will be lost because you can't live without water very long. Guess my pond will service as a bathtub for everyone to clean themselves. And Lord knows that won't be crystal clear anymore. And as part of the little Calumet water basin, which runs through all the yards on Colorado Street and the homes, which how is that going to be affected? The fish have been in there for 40 plus years. How can someone destroy someone's life, home, with no repercussions? If I went to someone's house and emptied their well, I'd be put in handcuffs and taken to jail. Yet, this still continues and nothing has been served. I've received nothing. Nothing has been told to me what is happening less than 150 feet from me. I am the closest house to this data center, and this is destroying my life. How are you going to protect our farm? How are you going to protect my animals? How are you going to make sure that what I've provided, what Maryville Farms has provided this community,
You have 20 seconds.
I don't care, for decades, how are they going to survive? If her father was still alive, this would have never happened. He's probably rolling in his grave. That's fine, I'm going to continue. Everybody here will let me. There's sons all over the world. I'm losing.
continue the public hearing, we need to be able to hear you. Let's be respectful of each other. Ma'am, can we have your name, address, and phone number for the record?
Yes, Barbara Cotelis, 6140 California Street, 219-680-9751. I am part of the No Data Centers Hobart, Indiana group. I hereby incorporate the remarks of all previous speakers who have spoken against the proposed data center project. My comments today, I have the construction workers in mind. I want to tell you about a recent drive some of us took to New Carlisle about a month ago to see the data center. We noticed that Route 20 in one direction had a lane closure to accommodate all the trucks and heavy equipment. The build was still in the sprawl phase, not much to see except endless heavy equipment. So we went into the local diner to have breakfast. We were seated across the table from 3 retired guys who said they meet there every morning for coffee. We said why we were there, and they began telling us their thoughts about the data center. This is a summary of what they and 2 nearby couples said. Electricians are paid $27.51 an hour. Some of them are foreign. They're here on work visas, and they don't even speak very good English.
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Denise Michaelis.
Go ahead.
6716 Colorado Street.
Thank you.
Okay, I am just going to reiterate 3 topics that between you guys and the Devco representative spoke of. When you grade the dirt, you're breaking ground. It's a done deal. The councilman stated that when the site plan is approved, not if. When it's approved, not if. And let us reiterate, it is zoned M1, which does not accommodate this data center proposal.
Good evening. I'm Heather Ennis. I'm president. So, both quantum and AI are on the top of the list for national security concerns at our federal government. And this is where the economy is going. If we want to compete against our adversaries across the world, and we want to put in infrastructure that can be meaningful to keep the U.S. competitive, we need to continue to drive high-tech investment like this. There's a lot of misinformation out there.
We're stopping her time now because you're interrupting her speaking.
There's significant misinformation out there around data centers, and we're working to continue to bring more projects forward to showcase how these projects are working in other communities. We've done tours around several regions and looked at what these projects can look like. And many of these projects, even the one using water, use less water than golf courses. So. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate the time.
If you're not going to let all persons... If you're not going to let all persons who have an opinion and a response to make speak, there's no use in having a public hearing. So we're willing to sit here and listen to everyone's opinion, everyone's viewpoint. Go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Chris Carlson. I live on 1123 South Ash Street. And my phone number is 219-226-5007. I I have the impression that moving the language to a fill permit is disingenuous. I'm curious what the ecological effect is, being that there's wetland just east of that area? And I'm curious what type of precedence it sets in granting that fill permit and what that equates to. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. My name's Randy Palmentier. I'm the business manager for the Northwestern Indiana Building and Construction Trades Council. We're an umbrella organization that represents all the trades in Northwest Indiana. We've got roughly 30,000 plus members. A lot of them are here. We have some members for it. We have some members against it. I understand everybody's frustration. I appreciate the city, though, doing the due diligence and this board holding this meeting in this place to get everybody's chance to talk. I just want to state some facts that have recently come to light. So I did not have a guarantee on a local workforce here until a couple days ago. So I just want to point out that they have committed to using local union labor on this project in its entirety and implement the responsible bidding language side of it. As I said before, I understand everybody's frustration, but you know what? Our jobs as business agents and union officials for the trades is to secure work for our members. You can't be mad at us for that, okay? Nobody can be mad at us for that. No, it secures work for our... I'll close with this. I urge the passage of petition 2536. Thank you.
Good evening. I didn't get a chance to sign in. If I need to,
You sign in after your...
Thank you. My name is Lisa Valley. I am the organizing director for Just Transition Northwest Indiana. We're a grassroots environmental justice organization. We are currently fighting a data center in Michigan City. And I will not take a lot of time because I do not live here and I know how important that is. I live in Hammond, Indiana, right by the Digital Crossroads data center that has been used as a glowing example of what a data center can be, even though it is teeny tiny compared to what is going to be built here, and it is about to have $7 billion invested in it. And as to the gentleman that was just speaking, I am absolutely for jobs. We work for a just transition, meaning we want jobs and a transition to a renewable environment. But in the case of Digital Crossroads in Michigan City, they promised they would use union labor. But in fact, they actually just arrested members of the local union 150 for protesting, which is their legal right, because they are actually not using union labor. They make promises, they come back, and it's all lies. They say they're going to do one thing and they do another. And then once you approve it, like the city council in Michigan City, they are going to come back and say, oh, guess what? We need 70 new diesel generators. And that is going to pollute your environment like you would never believe. And one last thing, because I live in Hammond and I understand what people say, we don't want it here, we don't want it in our backyards. I don't want it in mine either. Even though I have a refinery there, it doesn't mean I deserve a data center. This is for billionaires. This is not for working people. We do not need it.
The Lake County Economic Alliance, if I didn't already. I want to thank you and everybody for being here tonight and having the process and going through that process. As all of you here are aware, rezoning, field permit, future site plan review. Thank to the engineers for what they do to make sure everything's being done by the books. And I want to thank our local union representatives here and the labor that they support. And just say that we are supportive of this field permit. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Mary Ann
Stark Bussey. My address is 3691 East 69th Street, Maryville, Indiana. I'm right on the border of Hobart and Maryville. And I'm at ground zero, right across the street, just like these represented the farmers on Colorado. I would be right out my front window. I would be able to see this data center. We have well water. My husband and I moved here 3 years ago from Illinois. We wanted a small town. We moved from a big city. We love Hobart. We love where we live. I get to see my grandbabies 3 or 4 times a week. I take care of them in my home. Pardon me. If this data center goes in, I won't be able to do that because it will not be a safe place for my grandbabies. And to the point, if you permit them to move dirt, you are breaking ground. I don't care what you want to claim it as. It's not just moving dirt. Thank you.
My name is Steve Munsterman. I live at 1190 Nevada Place in Crown Point. I was a consultant for data centers for over a decade before I started a business over here about a decade ago. I've been a subject matter expert on the topic ever since. Now, we've got a great crowd tonight, but nobody would be here today if it was not for our digital ecosystem. If you turned your lights on this morning, if you turned on your TV, any function in modern technology is being controlled 100% from data centers. Whether you like it or not, our total world is controlled. 911, our police officers, everything has to go through a data center.
Not this kind.
The system relies on it. If any of you got the shot for COVID, that shot was
This is a public hearing for members of the public.
Quiet, all the speakers up here, then you will be asked to leave.
so. The COVID shot could not have been developed without AI in a data center. It was developed in less than a year. It only took 22 hours to analyze the results before they were able to put it to test. The only other vaccine that was able to make anything close to that record was when we tested the mumps. It took 4 years. Now, can you imagine if we had to rely on old technology? It would have wiped out a lot of the population. One other thing that I want to add to that, I see a lot of people using iPhones in here today. They all communicated to get here through the data centers in order to get to this location. Your iPhone, this is obviously a very hostile audience, and so I will conclude my discussion on the fact that hyperscalers bring more opportunity.
You're incorrect, sir.
If we want to continue this public hearing with this public audience, we need to give respect to the people that are speaking, regardless of whether they are pro or against. Just because you do not agree with them does not mean you can disrupt their comment any more than when they don't agree with you, they can disrupt yours. We're trying very hard to keep this civil, under control, so we can all hear the opinions. I've got an entire page of notes. All of the comments, all of the questions you have. We're listening, we're paying attention. But we have to pay attention to both sides. That's only fair. This is America. It's only fair.
So in all the hyperscalers and the data centers that I put in globally, I've never seen anything less than a 10x growth in the economy. There's 40 to 100 people in each data center, but they feed millions of people. Every one of you use your data centers between 7 to 9 hours a day. So The reality is, as I was getting back, everybody that has an iPhone, if you consider what the technology was to do just that simple function of your iPhone, 20 years ago, it would have been a 4,400-pound server.
He still has time because they could not hear him. I didn't hear anyone yelling.
We can't hear nothing over time for talking.
It's obvious that this is a constant problem, but I do support the movement of the proposal.
We appreciate you taking
And I'm hopeful that you'll get your data center landed here.
My name is Elizabeth Gagliardi. I live at 6800 Lincoln Way Street in Hobart. I'm part of the No Data Centers of Indiana group, and I hereby incorporate all the remarks of all previous speakers who have spoken against this proposed data center project. I see a few board members on this board that actually were people that approved the small business that I started 20 years ago. And that business is a small horse farm about 2 miles from this facility. And I know that we're quite a distance, but I know that we're still going to be affected as far as the frequencies, the noise, the water. We are on a well. When we built our farm, we were not able to break ground until we had an approved plan. So again, as has been stated, it seems as if this has already been approved by the board, since they're able to do site preparation and move dirt without any kind of ecological studies. So I think it's really important to see data that backs that they're not causing any kind of ecological damage. They're not going to drain the wells of the 1,700 people that live in the area around that are going to be affected. These are all people that live and support the community here in Hobart. My building is under 1,600 square feet. I pay $14,000 in taxes for my building, for my business that's inside the city of Hobart. What is the tax base going to be for this data center? How much are they going to be paying in taxes? None. 50-year abatement? This is what I've heard. Started out as 6 buildings. I'm hearing now the plat is 19 buildings. I've heard as many as 30 buildings from some people that are part of the sale of the property. It seems like there's already something that's drawn up, it's already been approved, and the city of Hobart is just pushing this under the rug and getting it going. So we would all like to have answers to these questions as far as what this is going to do to our community other than cause more environmental concerns, more health issues.
Your time's up.
Okay, thank you.
My battery's almost dead.
1610 West 50th Avenue, Marie Fryer, Gary, Indiana, 46408. I will be calling the State Defender to call this whole meeting out of order. According to your rules of Robert laws you're supposed to go by, there's communications have to be sent, have to be read to the public, to the people. There is the acceptance of the agenda. There was no communications read, and the accepted agenda was then changed. I'll be reporting that. Because my letter was with the correspondence. It goes as follows. I say no to the Hobart Data Center on 61st Avenue in Hobart, Indiana, due to the placement of it on an M1 zone property. Given the power, waste, water management, and physical footprint of industrial scale data centers are not M1-like industries. The categorization in your own zoning laws say it defines potential uses in M1 as production, processing, cleaning, testing, repair, advertising, art and needlework, awnings, drapings, bakeries, non-alcoholic beverages, brushes, brooms, blacksmith shops, cameras and other photographic supplies, ceramic products such as pottery and glazed tiles, clothing, cosmetics and toiletry, data center usage, data hardware and software, denture making, drug companies, dry cleaning. It goes on and on and on and on, and
You have 10 seconds.
data centers stick out like sore thumbs in this category. The rest of the use cases provide examples of 20th century technology,
Your time
not
is up,
21st AI. This should have been ready to...
Ma'am, we have your...
Data centers are not M1 industries. They're energy, water, noise, water. They explode.
My name is Ted Smuckler. I'm a new resident of Hobart, 5 weeks. We've lived here. Our address is 1221 West 38th Place in Hobart. My number is 773-206-6776. And I'm part of the No Data Centers Hobart, Indiana group. And hereby incorporate the remarks of all previous speakers who have spoken against it. I want to speak about democracy. I want to know how a project like this could be approved with no understanding of the people who live in the community. I see probably 1,000 people here. I want everybody to stand up who opposes the data center. This is your job. Your job is to be a planning commission representing the residents of this city. This is your job. Moving dirt is preparatory to building the data center, a data center nobody wants here. We moved here because of the ecological makeup of the area, because of the beautiful small community. We did not move here to be near a data center. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Joseph Kahn. I live at 910 Lake Street in Hobart. I've lived here since I was 12 years old. I would like permission to submit written remarks.
Absolutely. Those will be made part of the record, sir.
As you all know, I'm against this data center being located here, where it's proposed. It's the wrong place for that kind of big industrial project. I was opposed to the Becknell project, so it's no surprise. It's the wrong place. It shows a lack of imagination. First, however, I'm going to offer you guys a way out of this mess that the city's gotten ourselves into, and it's a legal way out of this. First, this hearing for this permit is premature. And the reason I say that is because the city council likely overstepped its authority when it vacated the road going into that property. 1,288 foot long, 80-foot wide easement. The city council had no authority to vacate that property. That property is owned by the sanitary district and has been for a number of years. I've got the deed. I've got the deed that was when it was transferred from the redevelopment commission to the sanitary district, and I've got the deed when it was transferred from Double Barrel Farms to the redevelopment commission, and when the Ewing Farms transferred it to Double Barrel Farms. They're all here. So that property has been owned since 2019 by the sanitary district, and legal counsel has advised me.
10 seconds.
Legal counsel has advised me that only the sanitary district board can vacate that property.
Time is up, sir.
Not the council.
Thank you, Joe.
There's two other points in there that I need to make, but I'll not get arrested trying to make them. The other thing is the two-minute limit is anti-democratic and it's hateful.
2 minutes is not long enough. At least 3 minutes would be
Good
appropriate.
evening, Plan Commissioners. Rick Kolinsky, 801 86th Avenue, Maryville, Indiana. I'm here tonight representing NIPSCO and have some good information that I think I want everybody to listen to regarding energy. I think there's a lot of misinformation about power reliability and rates associated with data centers. NIPSCO has performed a detailed study on this site, and we're very confident to meet the power needs while not impacting service or rates to City of Hobart residents, Lake County, or Northwest Indiana. Our grid in Northwest Indiana is very strong. Furthermore, we currently got approval through the Indiana Regulatory Commission for a new generation company that will take in all the needed investment to serve data centers. Again, that risk and all the money that will be paid for the generation will be paid for by the large load users. Extremely, extremely important. I won't take 2 minutes, I promise. Again, as a utility, we work hard to make sure that we will not hinder reliability of all of our customers here in this room tonight, that they will not be impacted by data centers. Misinformation out there causes fear, and I want to share real studied information and facts about energy and power for this potential project. We can meet the needs of power if the data center moves forward and not impact customers. Thank you.
It's basic supply and demand. What happens when the demand goes up and the supply doesn't? The price goes up. We're not stupid.
Hello, my name is Lisa Stoyanovich. I live at 905 East Cleveland Avenue, Hobart, Indiana, 219-707-9886. I am a member of the No Data Center Hobart group, and I incorporate all their remarks. I also want to add, I read a very interesting book recently. It's called Empire of AI by Karen Howe. It's available through the public library, so all of you should check it out. It's got a lot of interesting information in there. Oh, I'm nervous. As more and more communities have watched data centers affect their lives, a growing number have pushed back vehemently against the unfettered development. In response, data center developers have grown more sophisticated with tactics to maintain business as usual. They've entered communities in secrecy under shell corporations. They've donated to community programs to dampen resistance. They've made promises to cities about the sustainability of their facilities before walking them back one by one after projects have broken ground and are more difficult to stop. In one case, in Virginia, a group of residents found that a lawyer working for the data center even suggested putting moles into their group. I fear that Hobart has been sold some snake oil, and I think AI is not the future that we're all pretending like it is. Thank you.
I'm Jennifer Dummett, 433 South Liberty Street here in Hobart, and 219-448-8289 is my phone number. I am actually a fan of AI. Data centers are not equal AI. I know this is, we need them for the internet, things like that too. I do believe they are an important part of infrastructure for our country. I use AI daily. I was taught computer programming basics when I was 10 years old. I have been working for the past year with sustainable facility management in particular, so I am very well oriented to remark on this. And I found it interesting that the gentleman from NIPSCO happened to go right before me. It was very exciting. Not a lot of people talk about energy, and they address that, but not a lot of people address the water. And one of the biggest issues and concerns that I have is we do have issues with things like, we were just talking to another proposal about drainage and wetlands and things, and why is it important there in the middle of town when just a mile or two away down the road it's not important anymore. If we're going to give those kinds of limitations to those developers, and I agree with that decision, we should do the same kind of thing for all of these developers. I do believe that data centers are necessary. It's an important part of the future moving forward, but they are not necessary in our backyards. They can be moved slightly more outside of town I, as an AI user, will sacrifice a little bit of speed to ensure that I am not being slowly poisoned by the data centers around me or annoyed by the loud noise coming from the constantly running data centers, the water that has to be run to cool the systems constantly, the energy that will be used. And the gentleman from NIPSCO said that there would be no impact to us. However, everyone here in Hobart has seen lines with tree limbs falling over them, growing over them. NIPSCO never fixes those things. This last storm that we had, transistors blew.
Your time is up.
Our infrastructure will need improvement regardless. Thank you.
Council, thank you for having us here. Nick Triana, 1663 11th Place, Hobart, Indiana, 219-808-0259. I came here to support the building trades when I first came here. Did not plan on speaking, but as a Hobart resident, I felt the need to speak. There's so many misnomers that have been put out there about the tax abatements, about almost everything that has been put out so far that has been regurgitated. So I'm not even going to talk about the data center right now. I'm going to talk about Hobart is in a lot of trouble with their tax money. And if we keep turning down all these warehouses, if we keep refusing to build, we are not going to be able to afford the police force that we have now, the fire departments that we have, to repair the infrastructure. If we keep turning down every single thing that comes up that moves us in the future, there is no future for Hobart. I have 2 kids that have graduated from Hobart High School. My oldest son just bought a house here. He plans on raising his family here. I am vested in this community. I'm not going to support something that is going to hinder my grandkids or my future family. I agree with this data center. You guys have done a great job on doing your research on it.
How do you know that? What research? They've told us nothing. What research?
Hello, my name is Lucas Seguras. I live at 6731 Grand Boulevard in Hobart, Indiana. My phone number is 219-727-2773. I am a project manager for Allen Edwin Homes. We are the 63rd, I believe, largest home builder in America. And man, would it be dumb of us to start breaking ground on a house that we weren't going to build? What a crappy business plan that is. I guess oligarchs is oligarchs though, right? But I'm not here for that. I want to tell you a story about my wife who bought a house. She did the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, which was move out of Chicago to buy a farm in this little town. And what we have been doing over the last 8 years to give back to this community by opening our house to the public, letting kids play with animals, and experiencing things they wouldn't have. We have a farm stand right now giving out free food to people. How many people in this community can say things like this? This thing is less than a quarter of a mile from our house. How many people like us trying to make this community better are you going to drive the hell out of here by this kind of stuff?
My name is Teresa Du Bois, and I live at 533 North Wisconsin here in Hobart. My phone number is 219-973-9007. I am part of the No Data Centers in Hobart, Indiana, and I incorporate my remarks of all the previous speakers who have spoken against the data center. I will leave my printed remarks with you because I won't speak to all of them, because some of the issues that have already been raised have been said. But the issues that are strongest to me are truly the lack of transparency that has happened out of this city, which wants me to trust them on something that is so important. That just really blows my mind. When I discovered that this was going on, I asked questions and I did my own research and tried to find out what's happening. I had a friend who I was very interested in learning about this 3-mile impact that happens when a data center is built. And I have a friend of mine who's a professional GIS map developer, and this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. And it affects really all of Hobart. All of Hobart. It goes all the way, the third line goes all the way to hitting almost Route 6, 37th Avenue. It goes to County Line Road. It goes through Maryville and it goes into part of the mall area that we have. It's a huge ring. This is what Hobart has to worry about. Do you have the people to do this and the structure to do it? I doubt it. I doubt it.
Ma'am, your time is up.
Okay.
You can submit your...
I'll leave this with you. But please, this is such an important decision that you're making. It's life-changing.
Sir, everyone just gets one opportunity to speak. You're not...
One opportunity to
Everyone
speak.
gets an opportunity to speak. That's you've had your opportunity.
My name is Kira Horstmore. I am living at 547 Creekside Drive in Lowell, Indiana, and my phone number is 219-213-0322. I am here because I oppose this data center. I apologize if I get emotional. I drive here pretty regularly because my horse lives in Hobart. He's boarded at one of the big barns here and stuff. And I genuinely worry about the water situation. I worry about the noise pollution. I have beautiful trails next to my the stable I board at, and the last thing I want is to go through those trails and I have to hear the noises of the data center. I have to, think about the fact that wildlife is not, in the ecosystem anymore. There's no more seeing cool deer pop out or turkeys in the ravines and stuff. It's the barn I'm at has a huge trail business. There's tons of people who come from Chicago or all over who visit Indiana, and they come here for a trail experience. And what are we to do if you're killing this little economy that's feeding into the local economy, feeding into people who sit there and go, yeah, I want to come back to that town. I genuinely am so worried about everything. I worry about other people who have livestock. I worry about how, they're going to water their animals or how their animals are going to be affected. And that's just all I have to say.
Thank you.
My name is Patricia Corey. I live on 7203 Colorado Street, and I am part of the No Data Centers Hobart, Indiana group. I hereby incorporate the remarks of all previous speakers who have spoken against the proposed data center project. My first comment is this is not the right spot for a hyperscale data center. I have been checking rules for the monstrous buildings. This area was rezoned M1 light industrial. The size of data center plan I'm putting in here has been zoned M3 heavy industrial. So that means cannot be built in schools, homes, and hospitals. Even the hyperscale data center industries know full well they belong in heavy industrial areas, not residential areas. The number of data centers alone shows heavy industrial area, completely with no homes around. I am asking the plan, mayor, council members to rescind their decisions on this area for the data centers. I'm asking Devco, Provident, Willet, Capital to move on and look for a heavy industrial to build their data centers, not in Hobart, not in our residential neighborhood. I request you, Mayor, that says, "Welcome to Hobart, the city who doesn't listen to the residents' requests." And I love it. Thank you. All right.
My name is Jesus Sanchez. I live at 1786 Della Street, Hobart, Indiana, 463-442, Eagle Creek. I don't agree with the construction of the data center. My room faces where the construction will be. You can put myself in my place and endure all the sound costs. It will not let me sleep in peace. I will change my house if that happens, so that you can endure all the misery of my life that my brothers and I will have. Don't destroy my life, please. And please, to the lady on the phone, you should take care of my life and that of children and that of the children, not a 2-minute timer. No data center. Thank you.
Man, it's hard to follow that one. My name is Delina Jimenez. I live at 902 West 3rd Place in Hobart. My phone number is 219-979-0250. I live here. I raise children here. I work here. I own a home here. I'm invested here. I have large concerns associated with the data center. Noise pollution, water usage and contamination, lowered property values, negative impact on wildlife and nature, the impact on the electricity grids and rates. I don't live close to the proposed area. I don't think a single person in this room, including the officials or the members of the Planning Commission, would find a data center in their backyard as ideal or wanted. I urge the city to listen to its constituents and weigh in on more than the financial gain. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Andrew Kaiser, 7454 Montana Street, Maryville, 219-263-6269, and I'm within that 1 to 3 mile range of the data center. I just wanted to clarify some remarks from previous folks that came up. NIPSCO doing large load rate changes is a good thing. People need to do that because that way they shoulder the cost of the data center energy. However, no one is talking about the estimated 11 to 100 million gallons of water a day these hyperscale data centers can consume. Not return to the wild, consume. They evaporate it into the air to get rid of all that heat. That's how evaporative cooling works. I want to say I do support all the previous remarks made by the folks that came before me that opposed this data center. And I also wanted to address the other gentleman's concern that we're not turning down every development, just bad ones. My last comment is this AI that's going in is not the AI that's used to train and make medicine. This is generating AI slop on Facebook. Yeah. No one needs that. That's all.
Good evening, members of the Planning Commission. My name is Dave Fagan, 2193 West 84th Avenue, Maryville, Indiana, 219-736-7710. I didn't plan on speaking tonight until there was one comment made. It may be of minor nature, but I think it needs to be corrected. I appreciate the previous comments to the Executive Director for Northwest Indiana Building Trades, so no reason to reiterate that. But there was a comment made in reference to two members of the operating engineers being arrested, engaging in lawful federal protected activity in Michigan City. That part of it was true. And the prosecutor has dismissed those charges because we were on a public right-of-way. What I want to reinforce here is the problems in Michigan City are not problems that we will have here in Hobart, Indiana. So I just want to make it clear that all the out-of-state contractors that are undermining our standards in Northwest Indiana and Michigan City and depriving workers of income and quite frankly hurting small businesses because the income will leave the community and head back to Alabama, back to Wisconsin, back to Texas, back to Florida. We will continue to do what we do to protect small businesses and our members of Michigan City. But I want you to rest assured, and anyone in this room tonight, if it matters to you about jobs, be and feel comfortable as I do, that we will not have these problems in Hobart, Indiana. Thank you all very much for your time.
Go ahead, name, address, and phone number, please.
Hi, my name is Cody Graff. I live at 7009 Colorado Street. And my phone number is 219-869-4778. I know we were originally talking about moving dirt, but as my fellow citizens behind me have said, this is the wagon in front of the horse. This is the death by a million cuts. It's kind of hard because we're walking on eggshells. I mean, it's a little hot in here. But I don't want to undermine the seriousness of this. Based off the research and the talks that I've had and the people that I'm continuing to talk to, it seems that the verdict is pretty clear. I don't think that we should approve this permit to start moving dirt. And I don't think that the correct development that should go there should be a hyperscale data center. Thank you for your time.
Do I have to get my address for the record? I already signed in, so to take the rest of my time. Oh. So, I'm sorry, does it have a time? Okay. My name is Jennifer Williams. I live in Amber Creek. We all know where that is. We all know my address and my phone number. When a fill permit is approved, it means that the proposed project meets local, state, and federal regulations related to the land use, drainage, environmental protection, and the permit holder is authorized to begin the permitted activity. So, what kind of developer tries 4 times across Northwest Indiana neighborhoods to rezone our residential land under the guise of light industry right next to our homes, our schools, and our hospitals? They weren't suitable for Chesterton, where the residents asked, have you ever built a modern hyperscale data center before? And the Chesterton Town Council told them publicly to take their 8 stories high building and take your asses back to Texas. They were denied 120-foot buildings in Burns Harbor because the fire department only had a ladder that went up to 75 feet. So then it went up to 75 feet, and Burns Harbor residents never saw a site plan, and it only took Valparaiso 10 days to tell them to kick rocks. You cannot build a heavy industrial building in a place that was supposed to be
depending on when. Beautiful farmland, possible. And again, so they created a new LLC called Hobart Devco and are trying again near our homes, our schools, and our farmland.
Your time is up, ma'am.
Thank you. So go back to Texas and take your engineer buddy from Powerhouse Data Centers with you and stay the hell there.
And I live at 6400 Grand Boulevard. The data center would be directly in my backyard. I would be affected directly by this. If you guys like tax dollars and you're worried about the jobs of our firemen and our police department, I encourage you to go on to your Zillow app right now. Look at the properties in Chesterton and Valpo. I've been a general contractor for 15 years and I've never seen a spike in home value since they've denied the data center in Valparaiso and Chesterton. You cannot touch a 3-bedroom home in Valpo or Chesterton for $500,000 right now. Can you imagine the tax revenue that would be generated in the city of Hobart if we were to deny a data center and build more single-family homes? That is long-term revenue for the businesses, the school systems, the families that have been here for generations. It's a small decision that will have a lifetime effect on the city of Hobart. Thank you.
Thank you.
Albina Venegas, 2083 Tawny Street, Hobart, Indiana, 219-252-1583. I don't understand what Hobart is getting out of this data center. What are we getting out of it? How much money? Yeah. Who's getting paid off for this? All these professional people that are for the data center, it's not being built in the back of their yard. It's not being built around their home. I have grandkids. I thought that my home would be an asset to my grandkids. You all have grandkids, right? You all want the best for your grandkids. Hey, what's going on here? We are human. We are the people of Hobart. People of Hobart, Indiana. There's no transparent. Who do we turn to if we don't have our council people looking after us? I've had at least a dozen full of people coming up to me saying, I am so worried, I'm upset, and should I never move to Hobart? These people have moved in within the past 4 to 8 months. My home is gonna be worth nothing, and I won't be able to pass it over to my grandchildren. I want to know what you guys plan on doing with your grandchildren.
Ma'am, you have 10 seconds left.
Watch the movie Erin Brockovich.
Sir, you've already spoken this evening. You've had your...
He spoke in the other public hearing. You're fine, sir.
Wow, seems like we got a problem keeping track of rules up front here. And it's understandable. There's a lot of stuff going down. But I have a question for you all. Are you indeed violating local ordinances in approving moving soil before a site permit has been reviewed? Are you or are you not? That's my question to you. Who's going to speak up?
We'll respond after the public
Are you in, excuse me?
We'll respond after the public hearing. We're taking public comment now.
This is part of my talk. I want to know the answer now. Are you in violation of your own ordinance?
questions for after the public hearing?
Okay, I expect an answer to that after all of us are through talking. All right, the next thing I want to say is I'm a retired electrical engineer, and so I approach things in a very logical manner. A lot of stuff I see here is not being approached that way. There's a lot of opinions on both sides of the aisle. A lot of stuff is getting heated, a lot of misinformation, as some people have said. And it's I don't know what to say about that, other than I just went to visit the new Carlisle data center last night. I could see it 2 miles away. The lighting is intense. They have probably 1.5 kilowatts of lights on top of each pole, and these poles are spaced about 50 or 80 feet apart, all over the place. You can't live next to that. I didn't notice anything. I did an acoustical survey. I didn't notice anything really peculiar other than the fact that I do know that the people in Michigan City, the people that want to develop that data center, said they were going to hold to a 65 dBA sound level.
Your time is up, sir.
Okay, well, they were getting close over there. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be made correct. Thank you.
You really care about what we got to say, don't you? Jeez. 201. Man.
Hi there. My name is TJ, and I just wanted to air some concerns I have about our electrical grid as more and more data centers come into Northwest Indiana. In Virginia earlier this year, they experienced a near blackout as a result of multiple data centers going offline as a result of a fault in the electric grid. And so I know the gentleman from NIPSCO said that he's going to try and get the data centers to pay for all of the new power generation. I wonder if you guys have gotten that in writing first, because we just got a rate hike this year. And if you mean to tell me that that was not spent on infrastructure for these data centers, I strain to believe it, honestly. And so the more and more data centers that come into Northwest Indiana as a result of, tax abatements and different rules from Indianapolis, the more our grid is going to be strained. I don't have faith that NIPSCO is going to be able to expand our grid efficiently without doing rate hikes on us. If they do not expand our grid effectively enough for the amount of data centers that are coming in, well, then what will happen is called rolling blackouts, is when there's too much power being consumed over here, so we're going to cut off power to St. John for 6 hours, and we're going to cut off power to Hobart for 6 hours, and that's going to happen in the heat of the summer when all these data centers need to be cooled, and then they're going to be cutting off power to Grandma's house. And then you're going to have deaths in there.
Good evening. My name is Jahira Perez. I live at 1715 Stellar Street in the Eagle Creek subdivision. I'm speaking for myself. I'm also speaking for my fiance, Guy Rhodes, and I'm speaking for my 3-year-old daughter, Sienna. And I'm part of the No Data Center group. I hereby incorporate the remarks of the previous speakers who have spoken against the proposed data center. We bought our home February. We closed February of 2023. It hasn't even been 3 years yet. We feel bamboozled. The residents of Eagle Creek feel bamboozled. We bought our homes at over $400,000, and we did not expect that this was going to be an industrial site. This is a residential area. 4 homes have gone up for sale in the last month. There was a 5th home that sold several months ago, and I have a feeling he might have known a little bit of something that we didn't know. I don't understand why we're not approaching this like Valparaiso did. Valparaiso held town meetings, listened to speakers, took a vote. It's really not that difficult to treat people fairly and with a bit of consideration. It is so different how we're approaching things here with the development, just one county over. Asking for input, having open discussions, taking votes. But instead, we are handling things by blocking the entire community, refusing to discuss alternatives, stonewalling the community input, and generally alienating the very people who you're supposed to be representing and hope and respecting. I am not asking, I am begging you to take time to not just hear us. There's a difference between hearing and actively listening. Just listen to us. That's all we're asking for. And think of us and our children and oppose the data center. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Beth Lumley. I live at 254 Michigan Avenue in Hobart, and I've been at a couple city council meetings. I'd like to address the mayor wherever he is. I showed up Facebooking him one day with my information about data centers, and I know he laughed his butt off because it was like a done deal, and here I am Facebooking him, but he took the time to listen to me anyhow. I'm up here because NIPSCO is lying to you. Whoever that guy is, he's a liar. Data centers are energy monsters. That's what I call them. They use, one center uses enough electricity to light up New Orleans. That's how much electricity they use. And in the water, the Great Lakes is forming an alliance because they're building data centers all around the Great Lakes. They are taking 1 to 5 million gallons of water a day for one data center. And that's why they're building hyper data centers here in Hobart and around the Great Lakes, because we have power and we have water. And that's the only thing you guys want from us. So I would say, and I appreciate how thoughtful you guys are about worrying. Okay. Thanks for your thoughtfulness on other issues though. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Colleen Meisner, and my address is 128 South Connecticut Street. The topic I just want to talk to tonight is about the pollutants from data centers, particularly the fine particulate matter and nitrogen oxide. These microscopic particles are small enough to be inhaled deep into the lungs and can enter the bloodstream. They are known to cause or worsen lung and heart disease and can trigger asthma attacks in individuals with existing respiratory conditions. When I hear this, I think of my kids playing in my backyard, all the kids on my block, and all the children that are in all Hobart schools playing outside at recess. I think about seniors and all the veterans that we have, because this town is full of them. So I just ask mother to mother and mother to fathers that are up here, please consider the health effects. Exposure to these emissions is linked to asthma, lung disease, and cardiovascular conditions, and studies project thousands of premature deaths and billions of dollars in health costs in the United States annually due to data center pollution. Please don't let Hobart be part of that cause. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak today. My name is Darlene Herrera. I live at 1630 Sapphire Court, Hobart, Indiana, in the Amber Creek subdivision. We, of course, are right across the monstrosity that you guys have put there. I was wondering, you've heard all the pros and cons. I think we have more cons than we have pro, besides maybe the financial aspect of this project. What I think you should consider is there another place that is farther and more of an industrial position than the residential area that you're planning on 61st Avenue. You guys have done such a nice job of cleaning up the roads, making the nice turnabouts and everything. It is looking very, very nice. You also have a house where you have Phil Martin there. Why do you want to subject them to the noise, the pollution, and the extra costs? So that's going to have to be due to the fact that Minnesota did raise our prices, and now you've got American Water merging with Essential Electrics. So it's almost like monopolized. And it's not really giving the residents an opportunity or a fair chance to be able to stay in their homes. Now, you've heard from many people that they've already built into Eagle Creek for $400,000. You have homes in Amber Creek that are probably in that area too, since the houses costs have gone up at double. So, what about where you're going to put the visitor center that you lost? I think that's on 30 Park Festival. Is that not a residential? Is that not, option? Besides putting it where you're close to the hospital, schools, and the two subdivisions, but you have Steinman built next to the Eagle Creek. So I think the decision for this permit should be denied tonight, table it, reconvene, and then have another vote. Thank you.
You can speak first and then sign it.
I'm also a civil servant. I run elections every year. I have never seen this. I have never seen people this upset. Do you understand? You're going to ask these people to vote for you all.
Here tonight to express our community's concerns about the proposed data center site in Hobart. While we understand the city's desire to attract new investment and diversify our economy, many residents feel that this process surrounding these projects has lacked transparency. We really feel like we're in the dark, we don't know what we're getting into, and we need a lot more information and communication from you guys. It should be back and forth. Major concern that we have is obviously the proximity of these proposed sites to the residential neighborhoods. I do support the labor unions, and I understand that they want to work, and I want them to have to work as well. But I feel like there is a better place where we can place these things. I just do not think it's reasonable to expect people to parks, it's wetlands. I mean, the transformations that we've done in this town have just been so wonderful, and I'm so proud to be people living here in Hobart. We're not opposed to growth, but we just want to be responsible and trained. I understand.
And I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't great there. I am all for the growth of Hobart. I love Hobart. I wish I still lived in Hobart. It's okay. But if there's one thing that I hated about living in an industrialized area, it was the water tasted like shit. It did. And the soups, and they had a lot of money involved, whereas everybody was really close, I don't like it, and if you guys decide to follow through with it, I know I currently don't live in Hobart, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna get out of the region.
Thomas Wilzanowski, 3184 Sobieski Street, Hobart. I
I want to make 2 suggestions, the first being to place 2 of the other 6 or 19 buildings associated with the data center at the vacant and destroyed bright spot downtown as well as Main Street Station. Of course, this is rhetorical because that wouldn't make any sense to do. It would interrupt the community, the flow of traffic in the downtown of Hobart. There is no difference in what I just said to the current proposal in relation to residential areas. My second proposal is that when this inevitably goes through, let's use the power from this data center to run Hobart's government. There is a small country called Ave that recently announced it's going to implement an AI prime minister. Hobart is surely not as complicated to run as an entire country. So let's take advantage of the data center and hire an AI mayor and council. This way, if we hire an AI mayor and council, there won't be as many human palms to grease. Thank you.
I live at 4470 East 61st Street Avenue. So I'm a construction worker and I work in those data centers that they want to build here. It's a mess. I know what that is. I've been working for 8 years doing that. And it's very bad. I don't want that to be built in my house, my backyard. One other thing I was gonna say, I'm not that good talking, but our house is our dream home. We moved here like 8 years ago. We love these houses, community is so beautiful. Please don't let these guys build this data center, please.
Shady, 444 East Grand Street, 219-231-2287. I just got a general question for you, and all of you, and you. What is the plan to do with that land when the end of life hits for the data centers? Or do you not care because you have already been voted out of office and it'll be our problem to deal with? You've lost the trust of your constituents. And I ask the people behind me, do we trust NIPSCO or Devco to tell the truth? Get out of my town.
My name is Julie Bradford. I live at 903 State Street, Hobart, Indiana. My phone number is 219-718-5127. We heard lots of information from Mayor Josh when it came to the convention center. He wanted to come to Hobart. With this data center, citizens have been given very little information. The only reason I've heard is money. We keep building and building, yet these money problems do not seem to go away. AI does not create jobs for the long term, it eliminates them. A data center is not the answer to our problems, City Council. Please do better.
My name is Gary Brown. I'm president of ISAC Porter County. We've eliminated 4 data centers. 2 of them are from Providence. I have 203 Harrison Boulevard, Valparaiso, Indiana. I have 2 minutes. You are acting as if you have a non-disclosure agreement, just like we have in Chesterton and Burns Harbor. I applaud you for trying to protect your city, but you don't accomplish that by not telling the public what you know. You just make more enemies. I can talk all day about the problems with millions and millions, 6 to 8 million gallons per day, and what's disposed of it once it's polluted. I can talk about problems with electricity, and with site pollution, and noise pollution, and the worst scourge is the targeted effects in the first 2.5 miles that nobody even knows about here in Hobart or declines to talk about it. You have to tell the public the truth. All the environmental things get excused away. We want to do AI, we want to be China to the moon. No, the vast majority, if it's not the big four, they do crypto. I told Congressman Worthing that, and I said, you'll have to worry about that at your next election. It's crypto, trafficking in every criminal thing that they can't send to banks in $10,000 increments. That's the vast majority of the ones that aren't part of the big four. So don't be part of this. Don't be a part of this. Like the eagle, I have on my hat, they know where a resting place is for food. They remember for 5 years. If eagles are found, you have to leave it alone for 5 years. You have just prepared your whole city to remember this mess for eternity. And I have fought 13 seconds. I know we're trying to help the city. Please, do better.
Hello, Plan Commission. I have an interesting perspective. My name is James A. Radlewski. I live at 1805 56th Avenue in Hobart, Indiana. I was born at Hobart Hospital. I played football for Don Howell. I graduated from Hobart High School. I had a small business in Hobart. I'm approaching the end of my mortgage. I've been paying taxes in this town for 25 years. I take care of my personal property for my neighbors because they look out their front door and they see my house. I see their house. It's a mutual thing to take care of each other. Secondly, I work in Carlisle. I am very pro-organized labor. I'm very pro-over-bricky pride. As a fact of the matter, each data center building is the same. I've been part of more than 10. I have security clearances. They're screaming loud. Each one has 24 diesel generators the size of double-wide mobile home, all the way down. Each building, 24 smokestacks. Across the paved road, another 24 smokestacks. We all know how diesel engines work. You don't turn them off. It's more cost-effective to leave it run. We're not going to solve the problems of the environment from anybody in this room. We're not going to make data centers go away. Data centers are going to drain Lake Michigan. What's it going to do to good old Lake George? Not even the mosquitoes will want to live in this town. And I'm pleading to you because my property value is my most prized possession. That is the greatest asset I have. And I get a little pinch, my neighbors get a little pinch, the whole block gets a pinch, the retired people, the special needs, all of us
10 seconds.
get jacked. No thank you, Data Center.
Hello, my name is Ryan Trotansky. I live at 304 Tyler Street, Hobart, Indiana. My telephone number is 219-688-1508. I have a lot of concern about this data center, but I only have a few minutes, or 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes now to talk about what I have a concern for. And that is the Deep River watershed. People use it for hiking. They use Lake George for kayaking and boating, and I know this town is really proud of that. My next concern is about our infrastructure. I-80, I-90, I-94, and I-65 are already backed up and congested. What does this construction mean to that? And finally, electricity. It has not really been disclosed the size. And the gentleman was here from NIPSCO and said everything's going to be okay. It'll be paid for. Sir, last summer I had no power for 3 days, and NIPSCO was not able to handle that item. So I ask you, when you think about moving land, what does that mean for the quality of life in this area?
Stephen Cho, 1108 West 39th Avenue, Hobart, 219-730-3064. Union member and proud of it. I look at your faces. I hear all the comments tonight. And I think I see answers. And I see answers that I think people and residents are not going to be happy with. Sad day. The union was designed to build better quality of life for union members and non-union members. What are we doing to ourselves and these residents? What are we doing to our children and our grandchildren, my grandchildren? Would you want this data center in your backyard? And your quality of life destroyed? Would you be happy then? Thank you.
South Linda Street in Hobart. I just have a few kind of bullet points here. This seems like a big risk versus reward situation, and it seems like the risk far outweighs the reward, and if it's just money, that's questionable. So the alumni, as far as our houses, the alumni were always going to want to buy our houses, right? Because it's generational here. I've lived here for most of my life, and people always want to move back here, but you're going to have a mass exodus. I mean, it's talking. There's already one on my small block. It's happening everywhere. It's based on your decision. It's going to be a mass exodus. Leaving a legacy of ruin instead of leaving a good legacy for people that live here. Why do we keep having to fight the city? Especially for this property. It's like we can't even just, with all the construction, everything, we're just fighting the city. Come on, take care of us. Take care of us. And we were there for hours last night, giving good information that nobody had, or if they did, they wouldn't be having this decision. They wouldn't be making this decision if they knew all the facts. So some of it just does not make sense why we're even to say no. That's what we're telling you is no, we don't want this. We can do anything with that land. We can make it beautiful and make it touristy. If it's a money problem, let's fix the money problem.
You have 10 seconds.
That's all I have.
Illinois Street. I grew up on Colorado Street. I'm a certified aerial Ricky. I watched the nature slowly disappear until the buildings blocked the sun, literally. I know the farm's got no chance of surviving, not with the land. My family's going to have no chance, no choice but to sell to industrial developers, and the farm's going to disappear, and that's part of the master plan, I know that. If it's not a data center, it's other light industrial, whatever ends up being there. I moved away for many years. I just bought a house here last year. The council said yesterday the land was not even sold, so this permit to move dirt 1 million cubic yards presumes that the site plan will be accepted. It's never framed as if, just when. So whoever's hiding behind Hobart Devco doesn't spend money without guarantees, without meetings behind closed doors and handshakes. That's why everyone's hot. That's why the temperature's been raised. The lack of transparency, the violation of the public's trust. When you try to silence the people, that's when they get the loudest. Show us the site plan. Share everything. No public servant should be signing an NDA. you answer to all of us. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. There's so much more that needs to be shared before any decisions are made. I know these data centers are coming. They're necessary, but not here, not on our watch. And then I want to host a city hall meeting with all the involved entities or a moratorium on any approvals for at least 6 months until the plans are made public. Thank you.
Name, address, phone number for the record.
Everybody knows me. My name is William Perringer, 3833 Nathan Street, Hobart, Indiana, 219-313-6478. You all know me. I used to be a councilman for the city of Hobart. And I am against this project. I have several people contacting me, even though I'm not on the council any longer, complaining about this project. This should not be done. Please listen to the people that have been up here. Be a public servant to the people. The people. Please. That's all I have to say.
For or against position 25-36. We'll need your name, address, and phone number for the record. And when you're done, make sure you sign in.
Yeah, I will. Lynn Stoyanovich, 1005 East Cleveland, 219-942-8129. I'm not going to take 2 minutes. I have one little question. Obviously, this is a huge issue involving the entire city, and I'm wondering why this isn't a city referendum that we're all voting on.
Hello everybody, my name is Justine Schultz. I'm a Portage resident. I live right on County Line Road. I would be affected by this 3-mile radius if the data center does go in. First of all, I want to hold everybody here accountable for your ignorance. Thank you. This is an abomination of everything that your community should be standing for. You should be protecting your community. Where's all the fact checkers? Where are your guys as regulators? And for the committee as well. We had a professor come in yesterday, and you know what he told us? He said that the data center is going to be generating 10 times the amount of the entire town of Hobart to run, all right? Not to mention the environmental factors that can happen if we have no water and no electricity. Also, I don't know if anybody's thought about the particulates that'll be in the air. There's a water park across the street. Surely you won't want to be taking your kids anywhere there. So I just really feel like shame on you. I feel like this should be a vote. There's a democracy. And I'm 100% against the data center. This should be tabled or denied.
And I wanted to point out that there's a very large crowd here, and I think it's a great turnout. But I also wanted to let you guys know that for every one of us, there are at least 5 more people at home right now that will fight for
Ma'am, did you speak already?
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I remembered your shirt. It was very nice.
What does it say?
All right, my name is Lisa. I'm here a year and a half ago, and the best thing I loved is seeing the creeks, the lakes, and especially going to sips and getting up a coffee and watching the guys fish. There's going to be no more fish. I just want to say one thing. What's going to happen in 20 years when that data center is no longer needed? It's going to be a big old shopping mall that's no longer going to be used. You've taken all the water, all the animals. I want to see the blue jays, the raccoons, the possums, the deers. They're all going to be gone. I came here from Las Vegas to see the green, the water, and one thing I learned is the community here is amazing. Don't destroy that. Don't destroy the diamond rock.
Hello, my name is Karen Liggett. I am from Portage, Indiana, but I am from originally Hobart. I am for AI. I am for data centers. But where you guys are proposing, how can you do this? How? Is it because you guys don't care? Because you guys could be voted out of office and you're going to move anyways? Why? Why would you do this? It's not right for this part of Hobart. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak for or against petition 25-36? Do we have anybody on Zoom who wishes to speak for or against? Okay. Will we be able to? We're waiting for another remonstrator who's on Zoom so we can hear their opinion as well.
Yes. My name is Eric Kozlowski. I live at 1138 Melody Drive, and my phone number is 219-487-6254. And I just wanted to get on the record, talk about the ordinance adoption, the ordinance you guys did. Just wanted to mention I guess just looking through some of the transcripts and some of the things I read, I was just kind of going back on how fast the process went, being adopted on February 6th, 23 days after the whole process went. So I was probably with that now. I'm pretty familiar with all their cities. With that now, pre-construction with you guys. And it kind of just threw me back to that whole process, threw back now, big now industrial. Kind of just threw me back that the entire process was less than 4 weeks total to amend that property, the same property, compared to the 4 months for that now. And I know, like, technically that's legal, but it seems like the procedure was compressed and really kind of incomplete of substance. I mean, it was failing the intent of the whole due process and the public participation laws. I'm just looking at some of the evidence omission from the fact reports on that. Like, so there's no traffic, stormwater, no valuation studies. It seems like the sequence reversal was only granted really before getting into
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak for or against petition 25-36?
My name is Macy Morris. I live on 14 North Illinois Street. My phone number is 219-323-4785. I'm the daughter of Eric Morris, and I also grew up on Marilyn Morris, my grandparents' farm. I oppose how every aspect of this is being handled. I want to live here. When I graduate, I want to come back. If this is built, I want to get as far away as possible. I don't want to be around it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. Please set an example for how government should work. Show me that you listen to the people and not the money. Thank you.
Thank you. Please be sure if you've spoken that you sign in so we have your information for the record.
My name is Colette Williams. I live at 138 Wenatchee Place in Hebron, Indiana. I'm here representing my parents who live on 3220 East 73rd Avenue, where I grew up. I was moved to come here tonight because of Patty Corey. Patty Corey came to my parents' door with the petition, and it broke my heart. She said she took up the cause because her parents had worked so hard on annexation, and that cause, my parents were part of that too. Is this what you want to do to that annexed area? You need to listen to Dr. Seuss. Read the Lorax. Thank you.
You're not coming to speak. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak for or against petition 25-36? I'll call one more time. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak for or against petition 25-36?
My name is Charles Rule. I live at 29 North Colorado Street, Indiana. I pulled a car from this guy sitting here, Todd Leeth, turning off. I wonder who's backing this? Who's paying for this?
You need to address the Plan Commission, sir.
Okay, who's paying for this? Nobody told us who's paying for this. I mean, is it the Saudi family? Is it the Trumps? Who's paying for this? They should be sitting here answering the questions right now. And they don't fit one guy with the apprentice. Alright? We don't know what the hell's going on because they're not here. They don't want to be here. This guy's going to be their mouthpiece. I hope. But we learn nothing. We learn nothing about the soil, the water, electricity. Nobody's telling us nothing. This is just a waste of time until the people that want this built will be sitting at their table.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak for or against petition 25-36? Please step forward. I'll call again. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak for or against petition 25-36? Last call. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak for or against petition 25-36? You've already spoken. Then we will decide to close the public hearing. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, aye? Opposed, no? That motion is carried. Point of discussion between the Plan Commission members.
I'm sorry, but there's still a question on
the public hearing is closed, and now we'll hear from the petitioner who responds. We're going to have to clear the room if we don't allow the petitioner an opportunity to speak.
I did want to, for the fill permit specifically, I did want to talk about the environmental items that have been brought up. Apologies. We have, as part of the scope of the mass grading study, we do have a full environmental wetland delineation report of the entire property that is available for the Plan Commission and for usage. That is what we delineated, how we delineate where the environmental items are, and how we lay out the property and stuff like that. That's the main
So what I would like to do is respond to the one question, and that had to do with the process and the legality, if you will, of our petition. We followed Municipal Code 15.100, which is the regulation and permitting of fill activities in the city. And 37 sheets of mass grading plans that Kimberly Horn presented to the engineering department, and now before you for the fill permit, follow that, dictate that. And I want to observe one very important point. We're here only for that, for the fill permit.
You need to give the petitioner an opportunity to respond. If you do not give the petitioner an opportunity to respond, we'll have to clear the room, because we need that information to make an informed decision.
All of the testimony that preceded us tonight had nothing to do with those 37 sheets of engineering detail. Not one thing had anything to do with the mass grading plan and the evidence that we've submitted for the issuance of the fill permit. So with that, we're happy to, Andy and I are happy to answer any questions that you might have with regard to the fill permit application. Thank you.
Questions from the Plan Commission members to the petitioner? Are there any questions? I do have one question. Will moving the earth as per this plan impact any wells?
Any wells outside of it? No. The intent is that there's no dewatering part of this.
Allow the man to answer the question, please.
Based on the geotechnical information we have for the project, the bottom of the detention basin, which is the lowest point of the site, is sitting above the water table. So there should be a minimal or no need for dewatering for the site. If there's dewatering required, we would come back to our dewatering.
I'm sorry, we're not able to hear you. Thank you.
Where did you? Yeah, the intent of the fill permit is that the basin itself, based on the borings we've taken on site, is above the water table. Going below the water table is typically what requires dewatering. So, based on those investigations, as of right now, we are not anticipating dewatering, but further geotechnical innovation is ongoing to formalize that.
Where's your site plan?
We need to hear.
Quiet! Would that impact area wells?
It should not impact area wells.
We want to hear them. want to record what he says, so we have to be quiet.
What I can add.
In all fairness to the petitioners, if you continue to be disruptive, you will be escorted from the room. So let's allow the petitioners their opportunity to respond to the concerns and the questions of the planning commission. I'm sorry.
It's okay. If dewatering is required on the site, there will be keysonders installed around the perimeter, and then drops in water level based on dewatering will be monitored, sent to the city for review, and any loss of water capacity in the surrounding area will halt the dewatering process through the evacuation.
The next question is, no, never mind, it doesn't relate to this.
Questions?
Trucking wise, like out traffic, what is it, what they can look like on site?
You'll likely have standard excavators that are digging up the material, hauling trucks that haul it around the sites. That would be the majority of your equipment for the site. You'll have a few trucks bringing in construction entrances, labor, traffic, and then probably likely a trailer or two coming in for another construction trailer. But mostly equipment on Center Street, standard haul and excavation material. That's controlled by the topic we discussed with the engineering department. Part of the reason for the berm being part of this design is to help mitigate the fact that the berm is 12 feet tall and looked at from the street level, and then 8 feet tall on the back end of it. So that should help mitigate that. But the erosion control requirements for the city of Hobart require really strict dust control by the contractor and investigations weekly or after major rain for anything outside of that swing. That's what approval. That's it.
And that would be daylight operations?
I would be confirming the contractor on hours or the intent would be for daylight operations. Is my understanding.
Additional questions?
They submitted SWIP permit, which is required for the build permit. We're looking at, the other thing that we discussed was that winter's coming short, we'll be talking about short span work that can actually be done. Hopefully by then they can get us the actual physical site plan for site approval at that point for the spring, and we can hash out all these major concerns. Depending on how long that takes, they'll have until the blue earth, but any earth moving before then, it will be at the risk of them. So we have So what I'm saying is that we've got this time span from the winter to the spring, or whenever they give us the site plan, that they're able to move earth per also what we discussed, the sheet that we amended. Part of the minutes is that any part of the fill process, anything afterwards is approved and adjusted. So it's a tough thing. Winter time's the best time to mitigate dust control. We're not talking about live trucking. We have time to work out all the heavy details that these residents are concerned about.
relating to the earth-moving activities, this will allow for the straightening of the detention areas in an effort to build the berms.
Our office looking at the physical plans and have submitted record requests. And we are still processing that, so a lot of these studies, such as the storm water pollution prevention plans, you will get in your hands and we will be able to send themselves as per your record request.
Very mumbly.
Comments, questions for the petitioner? Additional discussion? That was in the public hearing. Motion would be in order?
I'll make the motion that we grant the building.
Motion second to grant the building permit for petition 25-36.
What difference does it make?
We have a motion and a second. It's my responsibility now to welcome discussion among the planning commissioners, and then it's our responsibility to vote on this. So if you will give us the opportunity to continue the process. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, aye. Aye.
Wow.
All those opposed, no. Motion to adjourn would be in order. The vote was unanimous.